to plot the numbers -1 and 1/4, and I need to plot the numbers 5/2. Okay, first of all, I need to have a nice looking number line. So this is kind of my number line. Hopefully it will work. So I start off over here as 0. And then I have a question for you. How I could make this as -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, and so on and so forth, right? I could make that. But it would be hard to plot -1 and 1/4 there. So instead, how far should I have each of these things spaced? Okay, Keely is saying for the fraction 5/2, for the fraction 5/2, it can be multiplied by 2. And then Sky is saying 4. So what do you mean by 4? I'm going to guess what you mean, and you tell me if it's correct. What you mean by 4 is I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, that's -1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, that's -2. Is that what you're saying, Sky? Okay, good. Now, if from here, if this is 0 and this is -1, what is this part right here? What is this line right there? That's actually -1/4. And this is -2/4. And this right here is -3/4. And this right here is -4/4, which is also known as 1, or -1. And this is known as -5/4, or -1 and 1/4. So that's how I would graph that guy right there. You see what I mean? Does that make sense to you? Did that resolve your issue there? Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Let's try the next part. Now, I need to graph 5/2. Okay, so let's continue my graph. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. There's multiple ways to do this. 5/2. Can you make that into a mixed number? Do you know how to do that? You multiply by 2? I don't know. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. How many times does 2 go into 5? And it doesn't go in very nicely. It just one. Okay, exactly, Sky. You divide 2 into 5. But 2 can only go into 5 2 good times, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. And if I go 2 times 3, I get 6, which is too big. So solidly, I can say 2 can go into 5 2 times, at least. I still got some left over, but I know that 2 times 2 will at least give me 4. And I have a half left over. So if you convert this mixed number into this fraction over here, these are the same thing. But let's continue on. Since we have this thing divided by fourths, this would be 1/4, half, 3/4, 1, 1/4, half, 3/4, 2, 1, 2, 3. This would be 3, and so on and so forth. And so each of these ticks would be 1/4 as well. So what I want is 5/2. And how long is a half? Well, it goes from here to here. So I want 5 of those. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where I'm going to put my dot. Does that make sense to you? And look, it just so happens that that dot is out at 2.5. It's right between the 2 and the 3, which is 2.5. Does that make sense to you? How are we doing with that? I've got an up. Yay. All right, I'm going to stop the jing.